Good evening students, we are discussing about conditional probability. So what is conditional probability? The probability of occurrence of event A given B. So what is the meaning of this? We are finding the probability of event A under what condition? Given that means knowing that the event B has already occurred. So by knowing that event B has already occurred, the probability of A we are finding. So by definition it can be written as probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Understand? So we have seen about theory related to this conditional probability. Let us see some examples based on this. See the example. A die is thrown twice and the sum of numbers appearing on it is observed to be 6. What is the conditional probability that the number 4 has appeared at least once? So here we are finding the probability of, what is the conditional probability that number 4 has appeared at least once. So this event probability we have to find, and which event has already occurred? Die is thrown twice, sum of the numbers appearing on it is observed to be 6. So we are rolling a dice twice, okay, 2 times we are rolling a die, and what we know that the sum of numbers, already we know that sum of numbers is 6. Now by knowing this, what is the probability that number 4 has appeared at least once? Okay, this is the event of probability we have to find here. So let us write the experiment first. What is the experiment here? A die is thrown twice. Now die is thrown twice means we can add the sample space here. What is the sample space? Maybe they are giving 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6. Okay, result on the dice. Result on first die, result on second die. Maybe it is 1 1, 1 2, 1 3 up to 1 6. Or it can be 2 1. First die is giving 2, second die is giving 1. Or 2 2 up to 2 6. Next 3 1, 3 2 up to 3 6, and so on. 6 1, 6 2 up to 6 6. Okay. So in the examination you have to write all the outcomes. Okay, don't write dots in between, right? This is a sample space. Now let us define the events here. Now which event probability we have to find? I will take it as A, and which event has already occurred? I will take it as B. Let us take event A. We are finding the probability that number 4 has appeared at least once. Now this is the probability we are finding. I will take it as event A. Number 4 has appeared at least once. So what will be the elements of A? I can write here. Number 4 must be appearing at least once. So what I can take? 1 1 we cannot take. 1 4 I can take. 4 has appeared at least once. Next 2 4 we can take. 3 4 I can take. Next 4 1, 4 2, 4 3, 4 4, 4 5, 4 6 we can take. Next 5 4, 6 4. So these are the all possible outcomes where number 4 has appeared at least once. Next we have to define event B. Let B is the event which has already occurred. Sum of numbers appearing on it is observed to be 6. So getting sum of numbers as 6. So what will be the elements of B? I can write. We need sum of numbers is 6. So sum of numbers is 6 means I can take 1 5, next 2 4, 3 3, 4 2, 5 1. In these cases we get sum of the numbers as 6. Now we need probability of A given B. So for that we need intersection. So what is A intersection B here? Common elements of A and B. So what are the common elements? You can take 2, 4. Next 4, 2 we can take. So only 2 elements are in common to A and B. Now we can write probability of events. What is probability of A? It is n of A by n of S. N of S we know 36. N of A is, so how many elements are there in A? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. So there are 11 elements in A. 11 by 36. P of B, which has 5 elements, 5 by 36, and probability of A intersection B, it is 2 by 36. No need to cancel, you can simplify it later. So these are the probabilities of events A, B and A intersection B. We require, so what we require here, probability of A given B. Okay, this event probability we are finding, knowing that event B has already occurred by conditional probability. We can write probability of A given B, probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. I can write A intersection B is 2 by 36 divided by probability of B is 5 by 36. 36 will get cancelled, answer will get 2 by 5. Understand? So clearly we have to observe that what are the 2 events, okay. In that 2 events, which event probability we are finding and which event has already occurred, okay. Usually we take which event probability we are finding, I will take it as first event, suppose A. Next which event has already occurred, we will take it as second event, that is B. So we require P of A given B here, okay. Next we will see one more example. A family has 2 children. A family has 2 children. Find probability that both the children are boys. If it is given that at least one of them is a boy. Okay, this is a question. Given that a family has 2 children. Now family has 2 children means what can be that 2 children? Maybe both are boys, or first one is boy, second one is girl. Next first one is girl, second one is boy, or both can be girls. Okay, so these are the 4 possibilities of the 2 children. Now we need probability that both the children are boys. Okay, what is the chance that both are boys? If it is given that at least one of them is a boy, what they given, okay, what they given means already we know, okay. So we know that a family has 2 children. In that 2 children already we know that at least one of them is a boy. In that case, what is the probability that both the children are boys. Okay. Suppose if there is no condition, family has 2 children means I can write the sample space, either both are boys, first one is boy, second one is girl, or first one is girl, second one is boy, or both are girls. Okay. If there is no condition given, what is the probability that both the children are boys? 1 out of 4. So required probability of event I can write 1 out of 4 under no condition. But here this is the sample space. What is the condition given? Condition is given that at least one of them is a boy. So already we know that in the 2 children at least one is boy. So at least one is boy means we have to take only this 3 cases. Okay. So this case will get neglected because already we know that at least one of them is a boy. Okay. So under no condition required probability is 1 out of 4, but if there is some condition given, so you have to apply conditional probability here. So let us take that 2 events. Now what will be the sample space I can write here? All possibilities, either both are boys, BG, GB, GG. So these are the 4 possibilities. Now let us define the events. Right. Which event probability we are finding? I will take first event. Find the probability that both the children are boys. Suppose E is the event getting both children are boys. So what will be the elements of E? I can write both are boys means only one case. So n of E is 1. Next we define second event which has already occurred. Already occurred means we know that. So event F, I will take it as at least one of them is a boy. So what will be the elements of F? I can write at least one of them is a boy means we can take BB, both are boys. At least one is boy we can take, and GB I can take. We cannot take both the girls because the condition is at least one of them should be a boy. So at least one means one or more. So n of F is 3 elements. Now we require intersection. For finding the conditional probability, we need intersection of E and F. What is the intersection? Common elements, only one common element. So n of E intersection F is 1. So we know the elements means we can write probabilities. What is the probability of E? It is 1 out of 4. N of S is 1, 4. Next, probability of F is 3 out of 4, and probability of E intersection F is 1 out of 4. Now once we know all the probabilities, now what we require? We require probability of E given that F has already occurred. So by conditional probability, E given F can be written as probability of E intersection F divided by probability of F. Intersection probability is 1 by 4 divided by P of F is 3 by 4. So 4 cancel. The answer is 1 by 3. Understand? So clearly you have to define the 2 events. In the 2 events, which event has already occurred, which event probability we are finding. So based on this we can solve the exercise 13.1. Right, see exercise 13.1 now. Question number 1. Given that E and F are the events such that P of E is given, P of F is given, and P of E intersection F is given, then find P of E given F and P of F given E. So given that probability of event E 0.6, probability of event F 0.3, and probability of event E intersection F is 0.2, right? Now we need to find probability of E given F. By definition of conditional probability, how can you write P of E given F? It is probability of E intersection F divided by probability of F. Numerator is given 0.2 divided by P of F is 0.3, decimal we can cancel, 2 by 3. Required probability is 2 by 3. Next, what is probability of F given E? Second part. F given E is nothing but probability of F intersection E divided by probability of E, again by definition of conditional probability. F intersection E or E intersection F both are same, which is 0.2 divided by P of E is 0.6, so 2 by 6 means 1 by 3. Probability is 1 by 3. Let's see next question. Third one. P of A is given, P of B is given, and P of B given A, it is 0.4. Then find P of A intersection B, P of A given B, and then P of A union B. So first let us write what they given. P of A is given 0.8, P of B is 0.5, P of B given A is 0.8. From this, 0.4. From this, we have to find P of A intersection B. Now for finding P of A intersection B, we will use a conditional probability of B given A. Again, at P of B given A, it is P of B intersection A divided by P of A is 0.4. So probability of B intersection A is 0.4 into P of A. Multiply P of A here. P of B intersection A or A intersection B both are same only. So I write probability of A intersection B. It is 0.4. P of A, it is 0.8 given. So multiplying will get 0.32. So required probability of A intersection B, it is 0.32. Next, second part. Probability of A given B we have to find. By definition of conditional probability, it can be written as P of A intersection B divided by P of B. Numerator P of A intersection B, just now we find 0.32 divided by P of B. P of B is 0.5. So dividing 0.5 is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2, 2 will go to numerator, 0.64. So probability of A given B, it is 0.64. Next, third part. Probability of A union B. How to find the probability of A union B? Using the formula we know, is P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Using the definition of P of A union B. P of A is known 0.8 plus P of B is given 0.5 minus A intersection B we know 0.32. Simplify. This is 1.3 minus 0.32 is 0.98. So required P of A union B, it is 0.98. Understanding? Just notation based problems. So this type of notation based problems are important. Okay, for 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 marks type questions they will be asked based on notations, right? Let us see the next question. Question number 4. Evaluate P of A union B if 2 times P of A equal to P of B equal to 5 by 13 and P of A given B is 2 by 5. So we have to find the value of P of A union B. What they given is 2 times P of A equal to P of B is equal to 5 by 13. This is what they given. Right? So we can find P of B and P of A values. P of B is directly 5 by 13. What about P of A? So we are equating these two. If I equate these two, 2 times P of A is 5 by 13. So what will be P of A? 5 by 26. Okay, 3 are equality given. So equating these two we get P of B, and equating these two I will get P of A. So P of A and P of B are known, and given that probability of A given B, it is 2 by 5 given, right? So by expanding the P of A given B by conditional probability, we can find P of A in section B. Once we know P of A in section B, P of A and P of B, can we find P of A union B using the formula, right? So P of A given B can be written as P of A in section B divided by P of B, which is 2 by 5. So P of A in section B is 2 by 5 into P of B. 2 by 5 into P of B is known 5 by 13. So intersection part is 2 by 13. Now using this we can evaluate P of A union B. Now P of A union B can be written as P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B, we can write. P of A is known 5 by 26 plus P of B is 5 by 13 minus intersection is 2 by 13. Simplified, LCM is 26, 5 plus 10 minus 4. 15 minus 4 is 11 by 26. Okay, so required P of A union B, it is 11 by 26. Next, question number 6. A coin is tossed 3 times where E and F are the events given. So there are 3 parts in this. Here we have to determine P of E given F. Okay, we have to find the value of P of E given F where the events E and F are given. Okay, so what is the experiment here? Experiment is a coin is tossed 3 times. Now tossing a coin 3 times, what will be the number of outcomes we get? All possible outcomes, it is 8, 2 power 3. So we can write the sample space, okay, small number of outcomes we have, we can write all the possible outcomes. So what will be the outcomes we get when we are tossing coin 3 times? Maybe we can get all 3 heads, H, 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 or 2 heads, HHT, HTH, or THH, 2 heads. Next, 1 head, HTT, THT, TTH, or no heads. No heads means all 3 are tails. So N of S we know, it is 80. This is the experiment. So whatever be the events, irrespective of events for the given random experiment, always we can write the sample space first. Now from this sample space, we can define the events, okay. See the first part. Suppose E is the event, head on the third toss, head on third toss, okay. So what are the outcomes we are getting here? HHT means first toss giving head, second toss giving head, third toss giving tail, like this, okay. So E is the event getting head on the third toss. So what will be the elements of event E? I can write whatever be the outcome we get on first 2 tosses. We are interested only in the third toss should be head. So third toss is head means we can take HHH. We cannot take HHT because third toss is giving tail here. We can take HTH. We can take THH. Next we can take TTH. No other possibility. So there are 4 outcomes where there is a head on the third toss. So N of E we know 4. Next, F is the event heads on first 2 tosses. F is the event getting heads on first 2 tosses. So whatever be the result on third toss, here we are interested in only the first 2 tosses, they should be head. So what will be the elements of F? I can write HHH, I can write first 2 are giving head. Next, HHT I can write first 2 are giving head. TT, HH, HTH we cannot take, first 2 tosses must be giving head. So there is no other possibilities where we can get first 2 as heads. So N of F is only 2 elements. Now here we need to find the probability of E given F. So for that we need E intersection F. So it is the common elements to E and F. Observe HHH common element. Next HHT, that is not common. So only one element is in common. So N of E intersection F is only one element. So we can write probabilities. Probability of E is 4 out of 8 elements. Probability of F is 2 out of 8 elements. And probability of E intersection F is 1 out of total 8 elements. Okay. So we know how to write the probability of events. So we require probability of E given F. This is what you have to find. Okay. In these 3 cases. So first case we are solving. P of E given F can be written as P of E intersection F divided by P of F. Intersection numerator we know 1 by 8 divided by P of F is 2 by 8. So it can be cancelled. Answer is 1 by 2. Okay. The required P of E given F, it is 1 by 2. Understand? So clearly events E and F, they are only given. Just write sample space, write the elements of event, then we can find the P of E given F. Okay. Next, for this same experiment, if the events are different, okay, like in second and third case. Now see second and third cases. I will solve second case, you can solve the third case similarly. So second case, again experiment is same, so sample space is always same for the given experiment. Now E is the event here, at least 2 heads. E is the event of getting at least 2 heads. So out of these outcomes we are getting, so we need at least 2 heads. So at least 2 heads means, at least 2 means 2 or more, okay, including 2. So at least 2 heads, we can get 2 heads or more number of heads. So elements of F, E I can write as HHH we can write, we have 3 heads, HHT we can write 2 heads, at least 2, so 2 or more. HHT I can write, HTH we can take, THH we can take. What about HTT? We have only 1 head here, but we need at least 2 heads. So 1 head and no heads we cannot consider here. This is E. So N of E is 4 and event F. At most 2 heads, getting at most 2 heads. At most 2 heads means maximum 2 heads, okay. So 2 or less. 2 or less means we can take 2 heads or 1 head or 0 heads. Understanding? So at most 2 means 2 or less, at least 2 means 2 or more. Okay. So getting at most 2 heads. So what will be the elements of F I can write? At most 2 heads, maximum 2 heads. We cannot take HHH, we have 3 heads. We can take HHT, okay, 2 or less heads. We can take HTH, THH we can take, next HTT we can take 1 head, next THT we can take, TTH we can take, or all 3 tails, here 0 heads, okay, at most 2 heads, 2 or less number of heads. So these are the elements of F. N of F is, except this 1, remaining all we are taking 7, right. Now we need intersection. So what is E intersection F event? Common elements to E and F. What are common elements? HHH is not there, HHT is there, next HTH is there, next THH. Now no other elements are in common. So N of E intersection F, it is 3. So once we know the elements of events, we can write their corresponding probabilities. So it is probability of E 4 out of 8 elements, probability of F 7 out of 8 elements, and probability of E intersection F is 3 out of 8 elements. Once we know all these probabilities, now what we require? We require the probability of E given F can be written as P of E intersection F divided by P of F. Numerator P of E intersection F is 3 by 8 we write, divided by P of F is 7 by 8. So divide by 8 will get cancelled. Answer 3 by 7. Okay. So whatever be the denominator, it will get cancelled. So that's why no need to simplify here. At the end we can cancel the terms and write the answer. Understand? So whenever it is at least 2 means 2 or more, at most 2 means 2 or less. Similarly we can solve the third part. At most 2 tails means 2 or less tails. At least 1 tail means 1 or more tails. Understand? So try to complete up to question number 6, including the solved examples given before the exercise. Okay, and any doubt you are having, please post in the group. Thank you.